What if I told you there was a financial opportunity right now for your company to earn a 50% return on your investment every year for the next 10 years? And what if I told you that the U.S. government and your local utility company may help pick up the tab for the initial investment? Sound too good to be true? I can assure you, it's not. And in the next few minutes, you'll learn how this supermarket earned $75,000 this year and is on track to increase its bottom line by $750,000 over the next 10 years. You'll also learn how a local sports center earned over $50,000 with long-term dividends targeting well over $500,000, just by making some badly needed improvements. Hello, I'm Don Hare with U.S. Sound and Light Technologies. And this presentation is for anyone interested in learning about the energy revolution that's already underway and is sure to affect your business very soon if it hasn't already, and how a few simple moves right now can affect your bottom line significantly, saving your company money, lots of money. And at the risk of sounding like a familiar car insurance commercial, the next 15 minutes could in fact save you $30,000 or more on your energy bills. But first, I'd like to say a few words about our company. Our mission is simple: to develop and employ cutting-edge technologies to address the needs of the commercial sound and lighting industry. Our proprietary systems are now used around the world in prestigious venues like Madison Square Garden, Atlanta Omni, Ford Park, Dow Events Center, and in university stadiums and arenas too numerous to mention. We were the exclusive sound providers for the Winter Olympics in Albertville, France, and provided tour reinforcement systems for Bruce Springsteen, the Judds, and many others. But today we're here to address another need in our industry, an even greater need, in fact, because this doesn't just affect large arenas and sports stadiums. This affects the entire commercial and industrial lighting world. Parking lots, supermarkets, shopping centers, warehouses, industry, everything. So what exactly is this need, and what are the trends that are affecting it? Well, that's what we're here to talk about, so let's get started. Until now, the lighting industry has been largely dominated by a 200-year-old technology. Yes, you heard right. In 1805, the first gas discharge light bulbs were invented. They contain highly toxic gases, burn at almost 1,000 degrees, creating excessive heat. They're extremely inefficient and very expensive to operate, while lasting only 12 to 20,000 hours before needing replacement. And even then, they're considered toxic waste and can only be disposed of at expensive waste processing facilities. But amazingly, despite these and many other limitations, they're still one of the most used light sources in commercial and industrial applications today. But all that's about to change, for a few very good reasons. In 2005, Congress passed legislation that put a timeline in place to begin phasing out many energy-wasting technologies. And with benchmarks in 2012 and 2014, these sweeping energy regulations began steadily going into effect, rendering many conventional lighting products not only obsolete, but illegal. And they're now being systematically phased out in favor of more energy-efficient light sources. But you may be surprised to know that the law also requires that many of these costly replacement lights be phased out as well. That's right. New lighting efficiency standards set by Washington also mandate that all light bulbs become 70% more efficient than conventional bulbs by the year 2020. And right now, the only technology that currently meets that higher standard are light-emitting diodes, or LEDs. Now, we all know that LED technology has been backlighting our television sets for years, but what we didn't know was that companies like Cree Incorporated in Durham, North Carolina, were quietly developing new super-efficient, high-power LEDs for commercial and industrial lighting applications. And in 2012, Cree stunned the lighting world when it introduced its new light-emitting diodes, delivering an unprecedented 254 lumens per watt and twice the lumens per dollar of any commercially available LED in history. A new disruptive technology had been born, so powerful, in fact, that lighting experts agree that as much as 70% of all commercial lighting will now convert to LED within the next 6 years. So what exactly does all this mean? Well, in short, it means that for the first time, technology, energy, economic, and environmental factors have aligned, creating a political perfect storm for the lighting industry. It also means that in coming years, we'll witness one of the largest technological shifts in history, as most, if not all, conventional lighting systems will soon go the way of the horse and buggy, to be replaced by some form of LED technology. Why LED? Well, because they offer up to an 80% energy savings, easily surpassing the 2020 standards, and are virtually maintenance-free for 10 years or more. They run cooler, stay brighter 3 times longer, while producing no harmful UV light and contain no toxic materials. They can be sensor controlled, and they're dimmable. Sounds like the perfect solution, but here's the catch. They can be expensive, and although they vary widely in both quality and price, a high-quality LED fixture can cost as much as $1,500, $2,000 or more, making them cost-prohibitive. But what if you could use your existing HID fixtures and only replace the bulb and ballast with a high-quality LED replacement lamp? Wouldn't that be the most cost-effective way to enter the LED arena? You bet it would, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. What you're about to see is the finest line of LED replacement lamps in the world, but you don't need to take my word for it, because out of thousands of new LED products being introduced at Light Fair International each year, these amazing lamps were judged to be top 5 best of show in their category, and for good reasons. There are 3 main components to be considered before purchasing any LED product: the light source, the heat sink, and the optics. So what makes this line of replacement lamps superior? Well, we start by employing the highest performing commercially available LED in the world, the Cree XML2 light-emitting diode. And at the heart of our heatsink system, you'll find the Sunon magnetic levitation fan, which sets the world standard for reliability and long life. Our award-winning precision optics are also second to none, and are used to direct the light energy to only specific areas that are in need of light. The line consists of basically 6 lamps, each designed as a direct one-to-one replacement for various HID applications. And that's the exciting part, because one of these lamps offers an energy-saving solution for almost any HID application, whether it be a parking lot, street light, or any of 100 different high or low bay applications. A typical bulb and ballast replacement takes only about 10 minutes and offers all the advantages of even the most advanced LED fixtures, but at a fraction of the cost. So let's take a quick look at how these replacement lamps might affect your company's bottom line. Our website features an ROI calculator, which makes it easy to approximate your energy savings over the course of a month, a year, or even a decade. And for demonstration purposes, let's take this supermarket as an example. A facility like this might require 120 high bay fixtures, each burning up to 1,000 watts to provide adequate light for its shoppers. Business hours are typically 6 a.m. till midnight 7 days a week. So let's go to our calculator, and on the left-hand column, we'll enter some of the data we already know about the store. We know that the HID bulbs use 1,000 watts of power, and the ballast uses an additional 8%, or in this case 80 watts. Since both are going to be replaced, we'll enter 1,080 as the total watts per bulb. Since we're replacing all the bulbs in the high bay fixtures, we'll enter 120 as the number of bulbs. 18 hours a day, 30 days a month. For now, we'll use the national average of 10.1 cents per kilowatt hour cost. And since it's asking for a dollar value, this is represented as 0.101. Now the calculator will make some projections based on the data we just entered. And you'll notice that it immediately gives us some interesting information. After approximating maintenance costs, it tells us that the cost per month to operate these bulbs is $7,129. Now consider that each of these bulbs can generate up to 4,000 BTUs of heat, and you can appreciate the tremendous burden they place on HVAC systems. In fact, our calculator estimates that this supermarket is paying another $1,069 per month just to remove the heat created by these lights, resulting in a total lighting and HVAC expense of over $98,000 per year. But here's another interesting piece of information. Over 540 metric tons of CO2 emissions are created just to generate enough electricity to power the lights in this one supermarket every year. Yet another good reason to change out these lights. Now keep in mind that HIDs normally lose about 40% of their light output within the first 6 months of operation. An additional 20% gets lost in the fixture, where much of the light energy gets either trapped or reflected, resulting in an overall light loss of up to 60% in just the first 6 months. Now consider that LED suffers no light loss at all. So with this in mind, let's go find a suitable replacement lamp. We start with the wattage of the existing bulbs and then multiply by 25% and again by 35% to determine which of our LED replacements might approximate the average light output of a midlife HID bulb. In this case, we have 1,000 watt bulbs, so our formula tells us that a suitable LED replacement lamp should be somewhere between 250 and 350 watts. Since these are high bay fixtures, it appears that the high bay 600-750 replacement is a perfect choice, since it operates at 294 watts at full power. Keep in mind that these are dimmable and can be dialed back to consume even less power if less light is required. So at this point, let's go back to the energy calculator and enter some new data based on the changes we've made. For now, let's assume that we'll run at full power and enter 294 at the top of the right-hand column. Notice that we still have 120 fixtures and still burn 18 hours a day. Our price per kilowatt hour remains the same, but by replacing the HID bulbs and ballast with LED replacement lamps, our energy savings are astounding, not to mention our carbon footprint. That said, is it any wonder that the U.S. government and local power companies are the ones leading the charge for the LED revolution? Keep in mind that these savings don't yet reflect federal or state tax incentives or energy company rebates, which could make these numbers even more appealing. Let me show you what I mean. Remember the 2005 Energy Act we talked about? Well, also included in that act was U.S. Code 179D, which provided massive tax incentives to install energy-efficient lighting systems in commercial and public buildings. And although this code technically expired on December 31st, 2013, it's now included in a tax extender bill which has bipartisan support and is expected to pass in Congress any day now. And when passed, it will extend these incentives for at least 2 more years, possibly through the year 2016, and will provide for an immediate tax deduction for lighting upgrades of up to 60 cents per square foot of building space. Let's take our supermarket again as an example. Since it occupies 50,000 square feet of space, it should qualify for an immediate tax deduction of $30,000, which could go a long way toward paying for the new lighting system. But as I pointed out earlier, the U.S. government is not the only one dishing out dollars here. Many state governments and local energy providers are also offering incentives for lighting upgrades. And although these can vary greatly from company to company and state to state, the trend is clear, and we're here to help. So give us a call if you'd like to learn what incentives are available in your area. Well, by now it's clear that the future of LED lighting is looking brighter than ever. And I hope that this presentation has been helpful in pointing out just a few of its many advantages over HID lighting. For more information, you can visit our website at www.ussoundandlight.com. For a free, no-obligation lighting demonstration or an estimated savings report, call or email me today, and let's see what we can do to help you realize the best possible return on your lighting investment. I'm Don Scott Hare with US Sound and Light Technologies. Thanks for listening, and I'll look forward to hearing from you soon.